Here's how to install our OCAM Bull Bar onto the Holden Colorado. Lay out all the hardware included in the kit and familiarize yourself with the brackets. Separate all the bolts and washers based on size, that way they are easy to get to. Start removing the 8 T30 bolts and 6 10mm bolts holding the top part of the bumper. Underneath, remove the 5 10mm bolts and 2 pop clips holding the bumper and plastic cover together. Towards the edges, remove the 10mm bolts on either side. In both wheel wells, remove the 2 Phillips screws holding the wheel guard to the bumper. Peel the guard out of the way so you can reach in and disconnect the fog lights. The connectors use 2 clips that you pinch from both sides and it should slide right out. Start pulling off the bumper. It's only held in with clips at this point, and grab a mate to help you hold the bumper while you pull it off. Remove the parking sensors from the sensor seats, but keep the factory rubber seals as they are reused later. Then pry off the sensor harness from the bumper. Remove the front crash bar using a 14mm socket. Then trim the plastic bumper spaces. Power tools make your life easy here. Remove the 2 10mm bolts holding in the factory bumper supports in front of the wheels. Grab an angle grinder and grind off the factory crash bar holding loops. These interfere with the cradle. Use a black paint pen or some black spray paint to cover the grind spots. This will prevent rust from building. Remove 6 10mm bolts holding in the headlights, then disconnect the headlights and set aside. In order for the bull bar lights to work, we need to identify the different wires for the indicators and parkers on the factory headlight harness. Then we will tap in the bull bar harness, which uses a green wire for the indicators, black for ground, and red for parkers. We'll also need 2 50-watt load resistors for the indicators, that way they flash correctly. On the driver's side, the green wire with the grey trace on the factory plug is the indicator, so we'll connect it to the green wire and solder in the resistor. The black lead is ground, so connect the 2 black wires together. Then the grey wire with the brown trace is for the parkers, so connect that lead to the red wire. On the passenger side, the blue wire with the white trace on the factory plug is the indicator, so we'll connect it to the green wire and solder in the resistor. The black lead is ground, so connect the 2 black wires together. Then the purple wire with grey trace is for the parkers, so connect that lead to the red wire. After all the wiring is connected, reinstall the headlights using the factory bolts that were removed from before. For the cradle bolts, they are labelled L for the passenger side and R for the driver side of the vehicle. The larger brackets go on the outer side, while the smaller ones go on the inner side of the chassis rails. Use the included M10 bolt, flat washer, and spring washer for the top hole, with a flat washer on either side. This secures the 2 brackets at the top. The center and bottom holes use the included M12 hex bolts, with both flat and spring washers on either side. The M10 bolts can be tightened with a 16mm wrench, and the M12s can be tightened with an 18. Repeat these steps on the other side. Grab a friend to help you lift and install the cradle onto the chassis brackets. Secure in place with the included M10 bolts along with both flat and spring washers. The 3 outer bolts screw directly into the brackets, while the 2 inner ones use a nut on the rear. Make sure the cradle is centered and then tighten all bolts with a 16mm wrench. Our OCAM Bull Bar retains the factory sensor and fog light harness, so you'll need to mark and drill out 4 holes for the parking sensors. Use a smaller drill bit for the pilot hole, then use a step bit to widen. Deburr the holes, then attach the sensor seats. You will need to purchase these separately as they are not included in the kit. Install the sensors into the new seats along with the factory rubber seals and secure using a Phillips screw, that way the sensor doesn't fall out. Then add the plastic cap. With the OEM bumper, we'll need to trim the bottom and make a cutout in the middle where the number plate sits. That way it will fit over the cradle. Use an angle grinder to make your life easy and make additional cuts if needed. Grab a friend to help you lift and install the bull bar onto the vehicle and secure the cradle using 6 M12 bolts with a flat end spring washer and nut on either side. Make sure the bull bar is aligned and centered before tightening using an 18mm wrench. Then plug in the sensor and fog light harness. With the bull bar installed on the vehicle, you can trim the fenders and wheel guards. Attach the splash guards using the included dome head bolts with a spring and flat washer, and tighten using a 4mm Allen key. After that, you can add your number plate to the bull bar. Make sure to test all the lights and sensors on your vehicle. Cycle through the indicators, parkers, and fog lights to verify that everything is working properly. And there you have it, your brand new OCAM Holden Colorado Bull Bar is installed.